Good, Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Buddhist Temple of San Diego's Spring Ohigan service, which will be chaired by the 9th through 12th grade class. Ohigan, which is conducted during spring and fall equinoxes, is a service of reflection when we meditate on the harmony of nature and realize this harmony in our inner lives. What better time to reflect when the night and day is balanced? The service will be led by CMA Bill Teague and co-officiated by Reverend Sharon Sasaki. We will start with silent meditation, followed by floral offerings by the 6th through 8th grade class. Then we'll have chanting of Sanbujo, and then Sutra chanting of Juseige. Or we will start with the incense offerings by the 6th through 8th grade class.
Please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namadab, Samadab, 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 Samadab.
We will now chant the Sanbujo on page 21 of the Blue Service Book, and then Sutra chanting of Juseige on page 35.
We will now chant Juseige. Page 35. Gagon cho segan hishimu jodo shigan fumanzo seifu joshoga gao muyoko fui dai seshu fusai shobingu seifu joshoga gashi jobutsundo myosho chojippo kukyo mishomo seifu joshoga ryokujin shonen joeshu bongyo shigumu jodo isho teninshi jinriki en daiko fusho musaido shoujo sankumyo kosai shuyakuman kaihishi egen meshikomo an heisoku shoakuno tsudan zen shumo koso jomanzo iyoro jippo nichigan shoujoki tenko onfugen ishu kai hozo kosei kudoku ho jōdai shuchu seppo shishiku kuyo isai butsu gusoku shutoku ho gan e shunjo Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Samada, 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 Samada.
Please stand for the recitation of the 6 Paramitas on page 92 of the blue service book. Dana, giving. I shall be generous and helpful to others. Sila, discipline. I shall be pure and virtuous by following the precepts of the Buddha. Santi, patience. I shall be patient, tolerant, and understanding. Virya, endeavor. I shall be energetic and persevering and do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. I shall reflect on the teachings of the Buddha to attain oneness with all beings. Prajna, wisdom. I shall seek the light of wisdom of the benefit of all beings. Gasho, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. You may be seated. We will now have incense offerings by temple by representatives. Dharma School staff. Dharma School students. Sangha teens. Junior YBA. ABA. BWA. Taiko. Komon. Buddhist temple. Buddhist temple. Thank you to all the representatives. We will now have a Dharma School message by CMA Bill Teague.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you could be here today. And before we start, I just wanted to thank all the people who made this possible, the setting up of the altar, the flowers, the ringing of the Kansho, and your attendance together all make this a wonderful service. Please join me putting your hands together in Gassho. As one little candle ignites another, so the light of Buddha's compassion will pass from one soul to another, from one mind to another, endlessly. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namandabs, Namandabs. So as some of you know, a lot of our members are at the Japanese Friendship Garden for the Cherry Blossom Festival. We're happy for them. We hope they have a great time. They're representing the temple, both officially with the Taiko group and also for our Odori dancers. So the folks who are there will get a nice taste of Japanese culture as we're able to go ahead and keep it going here at the Buddhist Temple of San Diego. The festival does run. They close today is the last day. They're closing the doors at 6, and then they will go ahead and the festival ends at 7. So you're all, if you're free, you're welcome to go. Parking is always difficult, but I'm told that this is hearsay, but I'm told that in the lots right now, they are not enforcing the current parking fees structure. Before we talk about Ohigan, I'd like to ask all of you to join me in a little exercise, just sitting where you are, but we're going to go ahead and take a breath or two. So I'm going to ask you to get relaxed around the shoulders and relax your middle section, and then just take a normal breath. Hold it, and then exhale. Let it all go. So let's try that again. Regular breath in, hold, exhale. We're almost done. This time, take a little bit deeper breath and hold. Inhale, deeper breath. Hold, exhale. All gone. One more time. Little deeper breath, inhale, hold, and relax. So thanks for that. I hope that you felt a little relaxation, a little peace and calm. And the Dharma School students who are here today, I'll just encourage them to keep that in their toolbox, as some of the Dharma School teachers call it, the little things you can do from time to time. Just to go ahead and get a moment of peace and calm. So in that moment where we're exhaling, our bodies and minds can relax just a little bit. Feels pretty nice. And at that moment also, what you could call our calculating mind, our mind worried about what we're doing or how we're going to come out of things, or you may be worried ordinarily about what you have to do at the house when you get back. things that are your responsibilities, your obligations, the way that our minds work. We're always worrying about such things. But here at the temple, we should encourage, or we should take advantage of the opportunities we have for that little bit of peace and calm. In that moment, we're not worried about the cares of the day. So for the Dharma School children, keep this simple tool in your toolbox. If you're feeling stressed or upset, or too angry, or too sad, you have the opportunity to take a deep breath and then return to your situation with a little distance maybe, and maybe with a little more peace and calm. So here we are at our Ohigan service. I had a little song prepared for very young Dharma School students. It's pretty bad. So, but it's short. So, Ohigan, Ohigan, where did he go? Ohigan. That's it. Thank you very much. The idea there was to help the Dharma School students know the Japanese words that we throw around sometimes. Ohigan is very common because we have this service, as we were reminded by our chairperson today, twice a year. But it also works, I know that to make that work so that the phrase Ohigan turns out to be in English O, like an exclamation, then he, the subject, and gon, the verb, help folks remember Ohigan, but in the Japanese, O is the honorific, and Higan is the other shore. But there's also a version of that song that could be sung because we also talk about Shigan. So we've got He-gan and She-gan, but She-gan is this shore. So if I get another chance, I'll try and teach the younger Dharma School students that little song. So I did want to go ahead and talk about Ohigan from a couple of points of view, but the primary one is how it fits into our Jodo Shinshu tradition. Some of you know that this is a very Japanese Buddhist thing. That is, you won't find Higan or Ohigan observed in other parts of Asia. India, Nepal, Myanmar, Thailand, Korea, China, etc. They may have other nature observances, but not the equinox observance that we do as part of our tradition. And not just Jodo Shinshu, not just the particular school and sect that we're part of, but all Buddhist schools and sects, almost without exception, observe Ohigan twice a year. And maybe that's because of Japan's roots in agriculture. For a long time, the only food people had was the food they grew, or if they caught fish or hunted, they could go ahead and exchange what they had caught and hunted for food. But there is, in Japanese culture, a deep abiding sense of the rhythms of nature. So Ohigan fits into that so naturally, so wonderfully. And there must be something to the observance because it's the only special observance we do twice a year. And of course, that's because of the equinoxes that appear in spring and fall. And the kind of pulling apart or unpacking of Higan I wanted to do today was just because if you're not careful, and if you look at what we do and say in Ohigan, it looks like we're trying to revert to a kind of Buddhism that Shinran Shonin was responding to, which is a kind of tradition where it's on us, that it's on us to become a Buddha. And some of you are familiar with the jargon of self-power. That's many Buddhist sects in Japan, for example, other than the Pure Land schools, it would be Zen or Nichiren or one of the esoteric schools, they will go ahead and focus on what the individual needs to do to advance to Buddhahood. And yet, in our sect, the central emphasis is on us relaxing that need and accepting in a humble way who we are and relying on Amida Buddha to go ahead and help us because of his vow as a bodhisattva to make sure that all sentient beings, regardless of their efforts, good people, bad people, as long as they had recited the name of Amida Buddha several times sincerely. But we've just recited the 6 paramitas, which are pretty demanding to actually live up to those ideals. So I'm not saying we shouldn't live up to those ideals, but if you're not careful, it looks like once again we're being encouraged to guide our ship, that we'll go ahead and become awakened, become enlightened, become more like the Buddha by our own virtues, by our own efforts. And it's not quite that. It's also not quite the case that because of the vow of Amida Buddha that everything is automatic and we don't have to do anything. That's also a misconception, and I'm taking advantage of the Ohigan service to reference it. In the earliest teachings of the historical Buddha, he would tell people that just because there is an antidote doesn't mean you should take the poison. And to me, that reflects our situation as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, that even though all beings are being accepted, if they go ahead and recite the name of Amida Buddha sincerely, authentically, meaningfully, that we don't need to worry about things. But the worry is slightly different in tone and in nature. So one way to look at it is that when you go ahead and we just had that exercise, that experience of taking a deep breath and relaxing, in that moment, there was no calculation. In that moment, there was no self-power at work. And if you want, you can simply identify other power with that at-rest position, when our body and mind are at rest, but awake. From that perspective, we can go ahead within our Jodo Shinshu tradition and realize that, yes, we should go ahead and take advantage of these wonderful teachings that come to us. We should take advantage of reciting the 6 paramitas to be reminded of how far we have to go. Ideally, we'll improve over time. The Jodo Shinshu approach is to become seasoned in the Dharma, to become one with taste in the Dharma. So it's almost like we're in the smokehouse, you know, after you get so much Dharma in you, then you're permeated with it. I'm going to suggest a simplistic model of one spiritual journey in Jodo Shinshu. And it reflects a little bit the line drawing some of you may have seen trying to explain evolution, where there's a fish and then coming out of water, and then a mammal, and then a chimpanzee, or various pre-humanids, and then human beings as the evolutionary creation of mankind. But in Jodo Shinshu, and this is simplistic, but I want to suggest we have a different pathway. One is to be an unaware bombu, a foolish being. And the next step might be to be an aware bombu, to realize we're a foolish being. And this may sound surprising to you, but in Jodo Shinshu there is a thought that you're not truly human until you get to that second stage. That is, if you realize that you're a bombu, then that opens up areas of ethical responsibility that you might have. And because you realize your own shortcomings, it's said that you could become more compassionate and understanding of others because you recognize what's happened to you in your life and how that might affect your behavior or your knee-jerk reactions or things you wish you hadn't done. And moreover, this may be surprising to some of you, but there also is a concept in Buddhism that only humans can become Buddhas. That all other sentient beings don't need to become Buddhas because they already have natural Buddhistic nature. It's only we humans who get too complicated and think things through too much. We're not quite naive enough or innocent enough or childlike enough. Our brain is too big. We're thinking too many different things. And that's why humans can become Buddhas, because they have that lived experience. So don't feel bad if you're worried about your spiritual life or your spiritual path or feeling stymied. First off, take that deep breath and realize you're already on your Buddhist path. You're probably already an aware Bombu, somebody who has begun to recognize his or her own shortcomings. All of us have had experiences in life where we did something we regretted later. And we may not have realized the error that we committed until after we've left the event itself. The Buddhistic response to those events is to accept them, learn about yourself from them, that's the wisdom side, and be better prepared to cut other people some slack when they're not acting at their best. That's the compassion side. So because humans have the predilections that humans do, we have a lot of raw material to work with. That's one reason, perhaps, why it's said in Buddhism that humans can become Buddhas. Sentient beings, other sentient beings, don't need to worry about it. So in that evolution, I would just like to suggest that beyond the human stage, let's accept for a moment Buddhism's emphasis on the human as being beyond the Bombu, beyond the aware Bombu, and now a more fully functioning human who has incorporated the teachings of the Buddha. The next step would be the Bodhisattva. So reading the Bodhisattva perfections, the Paramitas, is really appropriate. Some of you who have done reading in Jodo Shinshu know that in some ways Amida Buddha was the Bodhisattva's Bodhisattva. That is, no one that we can find in the Mahayana canon vows to do more for others than Amida Buddha in the sutra. Obviously, Amida Buddha is a cosmic Buddha, universal Buddha. You can think of him conceptually, you can think of him as a spiritual reality, however you want. The understanding we have is that our view of ultimate reality is limited, but we need to go and find a way of dealing with this inconceivable ultimate reality, and the personage, if you want to use that term, of Amida Buddha is one way to understand that. And if you choose, as some folks do, to identify that as a poetic metaphor or a concept or a symbol that Amida Buddha is, that's where you are now. And it's not wrong, and it's not different from a person who might say that Amida Buddha is real, actual, the sutras say it, that's how it is. I'd submit to you that both people are right. Because just like the image of Amida Buddha on the shrine has a little veil in front of its face to remind us that we can't see Amida Buddha directly, our ability to see ultimate truth is limited. So we will always have a provisional relationship with Amida Buddha, who or what Amida Buddha is, but it's not necessary to say this is the right answer or the wrong answer. What's necessary is to take a look at ourselves and see how we can go ahead and develop ourselves more spiritually. So the greatest vow of Amida for us is the primal vow. Most of you know that Amida, the Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who became Amida Buddha, and parenthetically, Dharmakara means Dharma storehouse, so the suggestion is that this is the culmination of all of the teachings of the Buddha. Bodhisattva Dharmakara vowed to save, if you will. That may be a loaded term, but it means to go ahead and allow all of us to be taken into enlightenment in the concept of the Pure Land by simply reciting Amida Buddha's name just a few times. As long as we do it, and here's the catch, sincerely. In other words, we can't go ahead and just recite it because that's what we're told to do and not understand it. Eventually, through a full life and through self-reflection, we have to realize what's behind that recitation. Behind that recitation is that we are humble by recognizing our limitations, and we are grateful that we are able to go ahead and benefit from the wisdom and the compassion associated with Amida Buddha. Some of that wisdom is in the sutras. Some of that compassion is identified in the sutras. But it's also experienced in a temple like this. So when you offer incense, I really want you to go ahead and get the same feeling that you got when you took a deep breath in and relaxed. You're still there, but maybe not all of your worries and concerns are there at the moment. And over time, this is a funny phrase to use, but we're kind of conditioning ourselves. It's kind of operant conditioning, so that when we come before the shrine, we already feel our humility and gratitude. And when we put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Nembutsu, that we feel it especially. So let me just sum up, and I apologize for the any Dharma School kids that are here, but I have gone ahead and combined the youth Dharma talk with the adult Dharma talk. So that's going to cause a little havoc for our chair people. I apologize. But I wanted to go ahead and build on the early information about Ohigan for you. One last word about the Bodhisattva vows. They're impossible. Some sects of Mahayana Buddhism will have a Bodhisattva vow ceremony, and most commonly in Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva vows take the form of, the Dharma is endless. I vow to master it all. Sentient beings are beyond count. I vow to save them all. Those are aspirations that are hard to fulfill in this world of samsara, on this shore. But they point us to the other shore of enlightenment. So I would like to close with a recitation. These are the 4, I think it's called reliances. It's a reading that's in the back of our book, but I'd like you just to go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, put your hands together in Gassho, and I'll read these. First, rely on the spirit and meaning of the teachings, not on the words. Second, rely on the teachings, not on the personality of the teacher. Third, rely on real wisdom, not on superficial interpretation. And fourth, rely on the essence of your pure wisdom mind, not on judgmental perception. So there'll be a few words after this, but for right now, please put your hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs. So the phrase in that reading on the 4 recitations that should speak to us in terms of Ohigan, where we are able to go ahead and be in balance day and night, hot and cold. Fortunately, today's not so hot, but I guess next week's going to be pretty hot. But things are in balance, and from that balanced perspective, it's just like when we take that deep breath and relax. It's just like when we offer incense and bow and recite the Nembutsu, and it allows us to rely on the essence of our pure wisdom mind, because that's our inheritance. That's at the core of our tradition. It's the pure Buddha, the wisdom of our pure essence, which allows us to even contemplate following a spiritual path or take advantage of the Buddha's teachings. So again, I really wanted to thank you for your kind attention. Again, I apologize for goofing up the schedule, but I really appreciate the chance to share some thoughts with you. One more time, hands together in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs, Namo Dabs. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei Bill Teague, for the wonderful Dharma message. Will the Sangha please rise to sing the Gatha Farewell on page 107 of your service book? Thank you. Please stay standing to recite our pledge, which is in the insert of the back of the blue service book. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Dabs. Thank you. You may be seated. We will now have words of appreciation by Bob Schultz.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Bob, as she mentioned, and welcome to today's service. It's really nice to see everybody and share Sangha with you today on this beautiful day. How many people are going to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival after this? One in the back. It's going to be crowded. But it's great to share time as a Sangha, and I'd like, on behalf of the Buddhist Temple of San Diego, would like to thank everybody for your attendance and your generous donations. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. At this time, are there any announcements?
Good morning, everybody. So on April 11th at 1 o'clock, Dharma school students and anyone in the Sangha is welcome to help us decorate the Hanamido for Hanamatsuri. And then on April 12th will be Hanamatsuri. On April 26th, Dharma school is taking a field trip to OCBC for the Yasu Ishida Magic Show. I will be sending out a Google form this afternoon. We're also planning on attending the service at OCBC at 10 o'clock on that day, and then I believe the magic show will be after that. And on May 16th, we all have an opportunity to volunteer at Feeding San Diego from 1 to 3 o'clock, and that will also go out in an email for Dharma School. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I have an announcement as well. You already know Bob Schultz, but he's going to be the panelist for our new season of Shukatsu end-of-life planning. The next session is coming up on Saturday, March 28th at 3 p.m. in the Annex Hall. It's free. You're all welcome to join, but we just ask that you leave a note for the temple. There's a sign-up sheet already in the office, and during the week you can call or email Linda Redenbaugh, our temple admin. Bob will be wearing his hat as representing decades of financial planning experience. He's not going to be offering financial planning directly or legal advice, but he has seen so much in families what happens if there isn't the right kind of planning, and he will have great advice on how to share some of the difficulty that happens when a loved one in your family passes away, and how to ameliorate that through actions ahead of time. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Penelope.
And I'm Kira, and we're from Sangha Teens.
And we're having a book drive fundraiser.
All proceeds go to Sangha Teens activities, and we're accepting books through March 15th, so today.
And through March 3rd, May 3rd.
We accept books of any kind, CDs, vinyls, cassettes, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, and game consoles.
If you have any donations, there's a box downstairs in the hall thing. It's a big box, and it just says Sangha Teens Book Drive Fundraiser. If you have any questions, you can ask a Sangha Teens member, preferably me or Kira.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Two more quick announcements. So tomorrow is March 16th, and does anyone remember the significance of the 16th of the month? I mentioned it last month. So the 16th, every month we have a memorial, special chanting memorial service here at the temple in the Hondo. We'll be meeting at 10 a.m. and we will be chanting Shoshinge here. I will be here, so I hope a few others will also be able to make it for our monthly memorial for Shinran Shonin, the founder of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. And after we chant, if there's other people besides me, we'll have a little refreshments and talk about Dharma, if you would like. And then also wanted to mention if you could mark your calendars for Sunday, April 5th, and that's the day that the Vista Buddhist Temple Sangha will be coming to visit us. And in fact, I understand they're not conducting a service in Vista. Their entire Sangha is, hopefully as many as possible, will come here to join us. And we will be having a potluck lunch afterwards. The Dharma School will provide the main dish, but if people are able to share a side dish, salad, or dessert, that would be wonderful to welcome our Vista Buddhist Temple friends. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. A couple announcements. The week after we have Vista, as Reverend Sharon just mentioned, we will have another weekend of lunch because that is Hanamatsuri, and once again, we're going to be playing bingo on Sunday, April 12th. We're going to combine that with our Hanamatsuri luncheon and bingo fundraiser. We're going to be doing hot dogs this year, so we get a little break from Mexican food, but Mexican food will sure return to the menu, I believe, within the years to come. But this year we're going to do hot dog, chili and rice, and then salad and beverages. The Dharma School, they'll provide an announcement on the bake sale that we're going to be doing as well, but it's going to be 5 games of bingo. There'll be some prizes and a lot of fun. It's $13 for those 13 and up, and then $7 for those 12 and under. The deadline to reserve your spot will be the Sunday before on April 5th. There will be a flyer in the office and put up around the whiteboards in the hallway downstairs. There's a QR code on the flyer to sign up as well. So you're welcome to. Hope you all can join us for that. And then next week, Sunday, the San Diego chapter of the JACL is having a tamari sushi cooking demonstration from 2 to 4 p.m. I know the registration or the RSVP deadline was back on Friday, but you can still see if there's still some space available. There's a flyer in the office with a QR code to sign up. All right, thank you.
Sorry, I just wanted to tell everyone thank you for your generous donations to help out the San Diego Food Bank. The Sunday collection ended today, and we'll have participating the Neighbor Helping Neighbor drive-through next Saturday between 10 and 12. And also on behalf of Dharma School, we will be having a bake sale to raise funds for the 100th anniversary, and that'll be on Hanamatsuri, and I'll be reaching out to some of our great bakers. Thank you.
The Dharma School would like to thank CMA Bill Teague for leading the Dharma School portion of the service and providing the Dharma School message, Reverend Sharon Sasaki for co-officiating, CMA's Arturo Rubio and Yukari Williams for the Naijin support, Ann Ong for musical accompaniment, and Reverend Honda and for the technical support. The Dharma School students may now offer incense and be excused to their classes. The 9th through 12th grade class will continue and chair the adult portion of the service.
We will now start the adult portion of service, starting with chanting the Vandana and Tisarana on page 96. You can start from the beginning. We'll start together.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
We will now receive a Dharma message from CMA Bill Teague.
Thanks again, everyone, for your kind attention before. I did go ahead and combine the youth and the adult messages at that time. By a show of hands, anybody who wants me to do a new Dharma message, please raise your hands. So, well, even if you did, well, thank you, that's very kind. Anyway, it was my pleasure to go ahead and share Ohigan with you and be able to unpack a little bit of the Jodo Shinshu side, if you will, or possible confusions about self-power and other power regarding this wonderful observance that we have because we have a Japanese Buddhist tradition, and especially because we are able to go ahead and bring it into our tradition and see it from within because of our Jodo Shinshu background. Anyway, thank you all very much. And thanks very much for the chair, folks. Sorry for the changes. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bill, actually, for combining the Dharma messages. It was actually kind of neat for the younger students to hear that. Okay, please stand for the Gatha Ondaksan on page 128 of the blue service book.
Me
Thank you. Please stay standing for closing meditation. Hear not by your ears, but with all of your body and soul. Gasho, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
You may be seated. Thank you, everyone, for coming to today's service, and thank you to all the ministers, CMAs, and everyone who works behind the scenes to make these services happen. As we end our spring Ohigan service, I hope everyone is able to continue your reflection of balance by noting the spring flowers and the smells, such as at our Japanese Friendship Gardens Cherry Blossom Festival in Balboa Park, where some of our members are supporting today. Thank you for coming. This ends our service, and the Sangha may now offer incense and also stop by our hospitality room downstairs. Thank you.